So as it turns out, in the last video I'd actually caught in COVID, so that's a fun fact for you. All's better now though, and while my bullet is still in bike hospital, I did get this update this evening. So as you can hear, the engine sounds well, and most importantly, the horn sounds well. I'll be back on the road annoying people very shortly. But in the meantime, I thought it'd be good to make good on my promise in a previous video where I said it isn't the handsome trip machine tank bag that I'm just testing out now and will be doing a full review on later on. So this evening, why not do that? Before we get into the review, I just want to thank Mr. Janner Fox for sending me on these Royal Enfield Ireland stickers. Now, I was hoping to give the bike a good clean first before I applied them so I'm not sticking them onto dust and grime, but I hadn't had the chance to clean the bike until, well, it went away to bike hospital, so when it comes back, I'll be sticking these on it. And hopefully this summer I'll be able to join you guys on some camps and whatnot, Powers the Pot, Adair, etc. Now, so what's in the box, you ask? And because you tastefully didn't say it in a way that was referencing the ending of the movie 7, I'm going to tell you. Today, we're looking at the Trip Machine tank and tail bag in tobacco leather colour. This cost me €120 plus shipping, which was the method by which it was delivered. I forget the cost though. And then there was also tax. So, a little expensive, but you are getting something that's handcrafted, and as you can see by the box, it's very nicely adorned with So, what are you greeted to? You're greeted to a thank you message, free sticker, and of course your reassurance that it's handmade and some care instructions. As for the bag itself, it's great. Let's take it out and have a look. So from the outside you can see it's a bit worn because I have used this on my bike. Yours will come a lot cleaner if you buy one of these. Mine's just a little beaten up because it's been used, and I think it kind of looks better when it's a little bit. Now, let's have a look at what came inside the bag. So you get a rain cover which secures with this little strap. That just spans and swallows the bag whole so if it's raining, and I did actually use this, and it's quick enough to apply because all you're doing is just taking it out of here. You just throw it over and tighten it there at the side. Obviously you have this closed, but does it interfere with the magnetic connection? No. Like, there'll be little bits of water that'll get in it this way, but that might be just me putting it on wrong. It's not the prettiest thing, but you know, function over form here. It does have that sort of military aesthetic which a lot of bikes go for. So, as for the bag itself, it's sealed with a zip. Well, you have your 2 outer straps and then a zip. The zip is buttoned on, so there's no fear of that flapping around in the wind. And what do you get inside? Inside, now these are messy because, you know, I've been taking out and using them. Inside you get a leather strap so that you can use this as like a messenger bag, and that just secures in on these 2 side points, and I'll show you how that looks in a moment. But also inside you get your tail strap. This attaches by way of feeding it through here, and then that can sit on your pillion seat. Wrap it under. Maybe not enough room for some bikes. As for me on the Bullet, I've only tried it as a tank bag. I haven't really attached it in the pillion spot. As for how much storage you'll actually get in this thing, the website tells me it has 4.4 litres of storage, which, what does that mean? Well, if you're good at maths and stuff you can figure that out, but I thought a good way to demonstrate that would be using some 500ml water bottles. So you'll fit 2 side by side comfortably, and another on top. And I would say you could probably fit another one in the space between if they tessellated better. But when you zip it up, it's not bulging or misshapen, if that gives you a fair idea of the amount of space you get in it. But what could you use it for? I use it to store my GoPro and microphone recording device. But you could also throw your phone in there, or they actually have an attachment for this tank bag, which is a phone pouch, but I won't be getting that anytime soon because I don't really need a phone on display at all times. But if you're traveling, I'd imagine you could keep your passport in here, or your carnet, I think that's what it's called, or just different traveling documents that you might need, and it's handy to have them right there in front of you. Hopefully this summer I could get to test that out. You could also fit like a nice digital camera in there, or your lunch for the day, you know? Now, as for the magnets, you can see them here. There's 6 of them, and they're stitched into this leather liner, so they're not going to be coming out anytime soon, unless you got at them with a scissors and cut it out. But then, you know, you can't complain that they fell out because of that. Stupid example. Anyways, they are likely to pick up little filaments of metal because they're quite strong. So usually I give it a wipe down with some tissue, and I'd also put a layer of tissue between this and the tank, just in case it gets scratched, you know? How strong are they? So they're strong enough. Now, to give you a further idea, I don't know if this is actually helpful. When I first got this bag, I left it on the radiator in this spot for like a week, hadn't budged a little, and it was weighted down with some stuff inside, so you know, it's not going anywhere. Obviously right now I can't demonstrate it on the tank except through archival footage, but it didn't really move around even with the tissue underneath, so it's good to go in that regard. I think feasibly it's best used to be like an everyday bag if you're confident enough to wear it Indiana Jones style. But you could carry your lunch in it, and some snacks and some bottles of water, then snap it on your tank when you're ready to go. But if you're not a fan of the over the shoulder Indiana Jones look, there's another way to wear it, which is a secret trick I'm going to teach you now. So you face the bag towards yourself, put your arms through like this, and then just throw it over your head, and you've got a tiny backpack, which maybe that looks worse to you, but that's to your own discretion. Personally, I haven't really worn it out, so I can't say for either position. Now, the bag is available in 4 colours, which are tobacco, as you see here, vintage tan, black, and cherry. I went for this tobacco coloured one because I thought it might best match the Royal Enfield's own panniers, and it's pretty close. So there's an idea if you want. These are the dark grey panniers. Now, as my housemate has started layering loud copyrighted music from the shower, I think we'll call it here. So, the Trip Machine Tobacco Tank and Tail bag, a little expensive at €120 or £100 plus shipping, but I think it is worth it just as a treat, you know? Obviously there are cheaper alternatives out there, but I think this is pretty nice, and it matches the style of the Bullet or the Interceptor or Bonneville's or any sort of classic bike. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you like this review style, if there's things I should change, am I speaking clearly enough, did I cover enough points? In summary, bag good, bike good, goodbye.
And for your troubles in your work, give them a smile.